Welcome to today's Research Business Daily Report, where Google announces important personal data protections for its users. And then Nielsen explains to us how narrowing the neuroscience field is actually going to help the capabilities customers. RBDR is sponsored today and this week by Market Probe, which for over 30 years has ensured for its customers that voice of the customer insights are not only collected, but decoded and woven into strategic and operational decision-making. And today, Market Probe is also ready to help you with the latest evolutionary step in customer experience management. It's called Customer Advocacy, and we'll have more about it a little bit later. We spoke yesterday about individual privacy and consumers' growing interest in gaining some degree of control over use of their personal information. Well, there is some stirring on that front. In fact, last week, Google introduced privacy controls for users and rolled out the Google My Account website, where you can find out answers to frequent questions about personal data privacy. Plus, you can provide some personal oversight over what Google knows about you. Actually, according to Reuters, Google has been enabling user control of certain privacy for years, notably saving web browser and location histories. But managing those and other controls have been confusing and time-consuming because settings have been placed in various web locations. My Account provides privacy and security checkups for you, as well as options to make individual lists that you control either private or public. I took Google's suggested steps, and I think maybe you should too. Next, I was surprised as anyone when Nielsen announced its acquisition of Innerscope Research last week, folding the number 2 neuroscience research company inside the world's largest neuroscience business. So we asked Nielsen Neuro President Joe Wilkie and Innerscope founder and chairman Carl Marcy to join us and to explain if and how the deal actually benefits the marketplace. Joe, Nielsen buying Innerscope brings together the 2 biggest neuroscience research organizations, not just in the country, but in the world. Why is that good for the research industry?
You know, I think it's good for the research industry to have a major research company like Nielsen be committed to this area. As you know, we did make a previous acquisition, and for Nielsen to come back and make another acquisition in this area is a clear signal that Nielsen believes that this area is both valid and necessary for a complete view of the consumer. And so I think that's going to be something that helps the entire industry in terms of that vote of confidence, and that such a large player is pushing forward into that area.
As a massive organization, Nielsen can take these tools in a lot of different directions. I think for now, our focus is going to be on market communications, specifically video advertising, regardless of the screen that it's on, communications in the store, package and shelf, and really helping our clients break through the distraction and clutter of the modern media landscape.
Our intention is to relatively rapidly combine the Innerscope technologies with our technologies and do it first in the area of video ad testing. So just as an example, as we tested a piece of video, what you would combine is you would get EEG, core biometrics, facial coding, eye tracking, and self-report all integrated within the same deliverable. That's where we'll go first. We think there are many other directions we can go over time, but I think that'll be the first strongly integrated deliverable between the two of us.
Okay. And all these different offerings, Carl, do they give the Nielsen organization much more to talk about and something that's more geared to what clients may or may not need?
I think it's another really important and valuable tool in the toolkit. And what we hear from clients every day as we talk about the ability to measure all these different aspects of the non-conscious is really having the expertise to know when to apply which tools. And so part of the joint offering is to combine now 18 neuroscientists that have over 300 peer-reviewed publications and tremendous technology, and now combined, close to 15 years of experience doing this. I think this stuff is ready for prime time, and I think the combined companies will demonstrate that.
But how does the Innerscope organization scale up to what the demand could really be? Because Nielsen is a truly global organization, Joe.
So I think since Nielsen purchased Neuro several years ago, one of the things that we've done is made a lot of investments in building out the global footprint. So we have labs that are any client can use. And we have those labs right now in UK, Germany, Russia, Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, several in the US, Japan, China, India, and the ability to do pop-up labs very easily in other countries. So that global infrastructure has already been put in place. And we have very clear plans for how we can take the Innerscope technologies and pretty rapidly roll it out across that entire global footprint. There were a lot of things that we couldn't do before that we were asked, questions by clients. EEG is great for some things, but it's not great for everything. Carl mentioned earlier using the right tool for the right thing. We definitely got asked questions to do things that we were just unable to do. And with a number of the technologies that Carl and his team bring, we're just going to be able to answer a lot more client questions than we were able to before.
Okay. And Carl, passing on that understanding, educating the right tool for the right situation, how difficult is that to bring to a client?
Well, that's a great question. I think one of the things that we've gotten better with over time is taking fairly sophisticated technology and sophisticated science and bring it to an audience that doesn't have a background in many cases in using these tools and the language to describe them. So getting that right is really important. I think we've all gotten better at that over the years. One of the things that Joe and I talk about is the language that the two companies use to communicate the message. We have an opportunity to set a standard for what emotion and measuring emotion on a non-conscious level means, and what cognitive processing means, and what attention means. And these are things that academics debate all the time, but because of the scale and the scientific expertise we have, I think creating some clear lines will really, again, help not only our clients, but help the industry get some real focus on some critically important brain constructs that are also quite complex.
I think the one thing that will help accelerate the innovation here is by being within the walls of Nielsen. One thing Nielsen has is a lot of in-market data. And so Carl and his scientists and our scientists, in addition to be able to put that brain power together, we're also going to be able to validate this stuff against real-world outcomes in a way that probably wasn't possible otherwise. And so I think that will prove to be something that will also accelerate the innovation and the learning that we have as we go forward. I think that's a big piece of this.
Okay. That's your Research Business Daily Report. We've been sponsored by Market Probe, ensuring for over 30 years that voice of the customer insights are collected, decoded, and woven into those client strategic and operational decisions. Customer satisfaction and customer loyalty have been important in our industry for a while, but you're probably most familiar with the evolution of customer experience management, and yet it continues to evolve. In fact, the latest evolution is customer advocacy. And now you can click on a link created by Market Probe that will help you find out what you need to know about how customer advocacy affects your business. We hope you have a great research day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.